Jeff Gordon has led only 3 laps in the last 4 Pocono races. Well, you talk in the garage, you get the feeling that will change here this afternoon. Gordon rolling off from the 18th position. Let's check back down on pit road. Ladies first, Lindsay.
You want your car to be the best at the end of the run.
Jeff Gordon around Jeff Burton.
And you saw Burton, just like Wally was talking about a minute ago, a guy, you look in your mirror, you see the guy coming up on you. Burton just pulls over and lets him go. There's no reason to race. You know, 18 laps into a 200-lap race. There's no reason for Burton to take him off down in the first corner side by side.
Because what happens if he did, they're going to run side by side through turns 1 and through turns 2, and you're going to have the guys coming up behind you that are going to catch you fast.
To Ralph.
24 came in, they took 4 tires, no changes. Pretty happy with the feel of the DuPont Chevrolet.
Gordon heads off of pit road. Laurel Edwards has also made his stop. Ricky Rudd pulls away.
Yeah, you know the difference between being a lead car and a lap car is so close. Once you get lapped, it's so close. So once the lap cars get up there on that inside line, it takes a while to work around. And, you know, those first cars can jump out there. And then when you're 8th in line and then you're 16th in line, it seems like.
There's Jeff Gordon in the 24 car. He runs 8th, and Ralph Shaheen is working on a story with that machine.
The 24 of Jeff Gordon just a year ago right here at this very racetrack. Jeff had one of the worst crashes of his Nextel Cup career. Brakes went away on the 24 as he screamed down the long front straightaway. And the result was a heavy hit, one that Jeff has not forgotten. Just a few moments ago, Jeff got on the radio to his crew. Brake problems, an issue again here today. Here's what he said.
My biggest problem is brakes. I know you say they're bad getting into the tunnel. When you get into 1 and 3, or when you do pump them up, you have a good hard pedal, or is it spongy? They started vibrating a little bit after we used them hard at the beginning, and everything was pretty good. And then all of a sudden I went in the tunnel, and the pedal went down about 4 inches, and then it was hard. I mean, I felt like I could go. You know, I was being real easy because of those brakes, so I think the car's pretty good.
Even like you said you were going to cruise there and save some brakes, your lap times were really nice.
I was letting off at least 75 feet than I was.
One of the things they're trying to do is get the tape off of the front of the car to help cool those brakes down, get some fresh air up in there. On the last stop, the crew went to try to pull the tape away, just could not get it off. Wally, they run 4 extra ducts up underneath the front to help cool those brakes down. On a normal big super speedway like this size at Daytona and Talladega, no ducting at all. You need to get that air in there.
Yeah, you really do, because you're on the brakes hard. Don't forget, you're about 200 miles per hour at the end of that front straightaway. So you do need to cool them down. And one thing, no matter who you are, even a guy that's as good as this guy, Jeff Gordon, when you hit the wall that hard because you lose brakes, that's going to be in the back of your mind for a while.
That's in the back of his mind. And we saw during the happy hour yesterday, you know, he brought it up during the happy.
Various strategies here. See that Jeff Gordon stayed out. We were talking about brakes when the caution came out, and that means we're going to check in with Larry.
Well, guys, I think what Kyle was talking about.
Laying something on sandpaper. You know, you talk about not just hitting the brakes, you drag the brakes. We're going back to green right here.
Only 7 green flag laps since our previous caution, so you can see Jeff Gordon and a handful of others opted to stay out. That shuffles the running order, plus pit road strategy and weather, now all in the equation at Pocono. We are live after a lengthy rain delay. This race began just after 5 o'clock Eastern time.
I'm curious to see what Jeff's lap times will be after a couple laps here, just to see, because of that clean air. You know, he's been in the back, he's been running really good, but boy, it seems like if you get an opportunity to be out front, and I think this was a good strategy, all of a sudden you become the fastest guy on the racetrack just because.
Update on Gordon from Ralph.
Well, Jeff Gordon has had a very hectic day. He is leading the race right now, but still not comfortable with the brakes, and it's definitely affecting how he's driving his race car. Here's what he said just moments ago about how he's driving the 24 compared to his teammate Jimmy Johnson behind the wheel of the 48.
Just looking at Jimmy's car, I don't think he's quite as tight as I am, but
He could drive in real deep and get on those brakes and get their car rotated, and then you know, he gets up off the corner real good.
For his car, you're saying where ours lands tight and on the brakes is tight, his is changing direction right there better.
Plus, I can't drive in deep enough to turn it with the brakes. Brakes are just real inconsistent. It's the biggest problem. One time they're there, the next time the pedal moves 4 inches, 5 inches.
Quite the challenge with the brake pedal for Jeff Gordon. He really wanted to get some tape off the front end. They stayed out. He's the leader.
And everybody running at Pocono, and they might be running for the Pocono 251 instead of the Pocono 500. Look out the window. It is not pretty. Jeff Gordon is out front. We had a long rain delay to start this race. Now it's time for our Gillette Young Guns driver leaderboard. Ryan Newman, the pole sitter. You see Carl Edwards back there. Jamie McMurray drives the 26 car, not the 21 car, just to make that correction for you. Time to go through the field. Start with the 24 car, and here's Ralphie.
Well, that would be Jeff Gordon, and finally something good going on in his day. The 24 says he's good through 3. They just want to make sure they are out front the next 20 to 30 laps when the rain comes, Marty.
Well, Ralph, Casey Mears has been fighting a race car that has been tight for most of the day today. In fact, at one point he said he knew.
Here they come.
So Jeff
Gordon, yeah.
So Jeff Gordon dives onto pit road.
Boy, if this thing stays green, this is gonna hurt.
It's going to hurt these guys.
Yeah.
And it was
Come on down. Come on down.
Ralph.
Well, all of a sudden things went very bad for the 24, and Jeff Gordon must think it's really bad because he's been driving the majority of this race without brakes. But he said all of a sudden, I turned the car and it is so tight, it just slides up the racetrack. He finally had to come in, Marty. Ralph talked to...
Well, what I'm seeing, let's talk about this strategy again, especially as far as Jeff Gordon, the 24 car, and Casey Mears, the 25. They had to make that green flag stop back on 82. They knew they were not even close to being able to get to halfway. But what I'm seeing with guys like Ryan Newman, Martin Truex Jr., Tony Stewart, a lot of our leaders, they were on pit road at lap 65. I don't know that they can make it to halfway. Right now, with looking out over turn 3 and over the tunnel turn, rain very close. Actually, the 24 car and the 25 may be in the catbird seat because they know now they can make it to halfway.
Okay. Are you just making that up, Larry?
No, absolutely not. I've been working my calculator, man.
Yeah, okay.
But you don't agree with that strategy. I mean, don't you think they should have come in?
Well, I definitely question it, but here's the thing. I talked about this earlier. You can make a green flag stop here, as they did, and stay on the lead lap. What these guys need right now, you know, even if we get a caution here in the next little bit for an accident or debris, they're going to probably stay out and get this track position back. What I'm saying is, guys up there leading the race right now, I don't think can make it to halfway.
No, but okay. But what they need is for the yellows or whatever to fall perfectly for this to work out for them. And I mean, to me, it's just surprising that they were going to make that kind of a gamble, not knowing where if you could make it to halfway or if some guys could make it to halfway.
But just remember, when you got a points lead like Jeff Gordon's got right now, you can afford to take a little bit of a gamble.
And that's a good point, Larry. That's a good point. When you've got the points lead he has, you can afford to have a 28th or 29th place finish. You don't have to worry about popping them off in the top 10 all night long. But I think, you know, when you look at it, if they are, let me just say this. If they made that call from information they have, and they're that smart, I'm not even coming to the races the rest of the year. Because I'm telling you what, that is a phenomenal call. If Steve and the guys from the 25, if they laid that out and said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to stay out, run an extra 10 or 12 laps. We're going to pit, and we know those other guys can't make it to halfway. And then we're going to be right there at halfway, and guess what? We're going to get rain, and this race is going to be over with, and we're going to be the winners. And if they've got that much information at their disposal, I can't race against that.
They're way ahead of us.
I cannot race against that.
Save the tape.
Marty, Jeff Gordon told me earlier today, he says, you know, we haven't always been the fastest race car this year, but sometimes we've just been the best and in the right position at the right time to get the win. And right now, they are pushing hard to catch Carl Edwards in that 99. Their strategy is working out just the way they had hoped. They are 2 laps away from halfway, and they are telling him, go as hard as you can. You got the better car. You're the better driver. Go get this guy. Go get us another win.
So, Kyle, if you don't go to Michigan next week, what do you do?
Everything. Jeff Gordon and those guys may have put themselves in that position.
Hey, guys, I want you to look at the scoring monitor and notice the 99 has really slowed their pace down. He's running almost a second slower than Jeff Gordon. By the way, I think he's on pit road. So here's what I want you guys to do is look at the scoreboard, look at the skies, and look who's leading right now.
Close Larry's mic, please.
Larry, we're not arguing with you. All we're saying is if they knew that going in and they made that call going in, like Kyle said, that's brilliant.
But just remember, this is the same group that made a green flag pit stop at Phoenix and kept the lead of the race as the caution came out.
Hey, Larry, wasn't he overheating when he won at Darlington or something, too?
Hey, when it's your year, it's your year.
And I'll tell you, coming up on halfway, but you might have heard over the air the thunder. There was a huge flash of lightning, and then the roar of thunder, the rumble of thunder over the roar of the cars.
Bill, what you heard was not the thunder, but the cheer from the pit down here in Jeff Gordon's crew, because when he went by and they heard that thunder as well, they said, we told you, we got it, keep it going. And remember, they're doing this without good brakes.
99 laps are complete. Working lap 100 halfway next time by.
I'll tell you what, he's got to still run hard because he's got Ryan Newman and Mark Truex second, third right now, who are running quite a bit faster laps than Jeff Gordon, and there they are. They're about a half of a second. Both those cars were half a second faster than Gordon that last lap.
And Larry made a great point. What was so exciting there was that Carl was going slower so he could win the race, hopefully, and with his strategy. And these guys were really hustling so they could get up front and try and win the race. Marty.
Well, guys, remember, too, these cars have to pit about lap 114. Casey Mears among them, so they don't have a very big window here. They need rain, and they need it fairly quickly if this is going to work out.
Now, Larry McReynolds has another whole strategy for that, I assure you.
But unlike most racetracks, 114 or 115 is 10 or 15 minutes away. It's not instantly like it is at a Martinsville or a place like that. So there's some time here, not only lap-wise, as far as being 10 or 12 laps, there's a time element here. So if it's going to rain, I'm telling you, man, it may blow past. Who knows? That's the kiss of death. It's getting ready to rain any minute now that I said it may blow past. But I'm going to tell you, the 1 and the 12 car, Newman and Truex Jr., have run down the 24 and the 25. I'm going to tell you, when this race is over with and you ask these drivers.
64 behind you, get a 2-second lead.
You hear him giving Jeff information right there.
I'm not sure he's not using reins to help him save some of that fuel mileage.
Especially
drafting a little bit.
Drafting a little bit, running down a straight line. But when this race is over with and you ask these drivers, how hard did you drive from lap 85 to lap 112 or 114, they're going to tell you they drove their guts out, man, because these guys, everybody out there is running like it's the last lap.
And we are past halfway, so if the rain was to come, this race would be official. Lindsay.
Crew Chief Kevin Mannion did believe that they...
It's about everything, and when it all comes together, it makes for such an exciting race.
It's a high-speed chess game, and guess what? Right now, Jeff Gordon is in the driver's seat at Pocono. You're watching NASCAR on TNT. The caution is out at Pocono for rain. And I want to tell you, it was razor close. There are 12 scoring loops around this track. It reverts to the previously passed loop. And it's going to be close between Jeff Gordon and Ryan Newman.
Okay, here you see Newman. This is in between turn 1 and 2. And it's raining hard right here. I think that's why Gordon jumps out of the gas.
And Newman charging hard.
And right here is about where the caution came out. And you see Newman just let off and let him have it. And there's a scoring loop right there. And Wally, they were showing a shot. You can see the rain right here. Yeah. This is a shot they showed, and Wally picked it out the lap before. Like Wally said, it is raining hard over there. And when they got back over there, that's it, man. And if it rains, they're not going to ride around under caution. So we're not going to get to a 114 or a 115 and have to worry about it. Because when it's here, it's here. Yeah. And they're not going to get this place dry again if it rains that much.
And that was a good call by NASCAR because
we got to come at 114.
I'll tell you what, you could wad up a lot of cars going into that corner as hard as it was raining.
That is the worst corner in the world to get wet in that tunnel, in the tunnel corner. And you heard him say, 114, we can go to 114. So that's their mark. That seems to be everybody's mark. I think Larry made a great call on that. Larry said 114. So when you look at it, that's where it's at. Let me just go on record once again and say, if it rains this thing out, Jeff Gordon, I would officially like to announce my retirement from the sport of NASCAR auto racing, okay? Because I cannot compete against that. That's phenomenal.
Amazing. Time for our Subway Pit News Report, and here's Ralph Shaheen.
Bill, Ryan Newman has no idea how close he came to winning this race, because not only did he come awful close to making that pass, but Jeff Gordon had just come on the radio just before that pass was attempted and said, the tires are shot, I'm done, I've got nothing left. They said hang in there, and the caution flag came out, and Jeff Gordon holds on to the lead. This thing would not have made it another half a lap, but Jeff Gordon out front. As you said earlier, sometimes when it's your year, it's just your year, and everything goes your way. No brakes, no tires, and you're still leading when maybe that last caution comes out to help take you to the checker.
See how it all plays out.
Yeah, you know, if it comes across here, if it just rains over there, they may be able to drive part of it out. But if it soaks the racetrack again, you know, we saw how long it took us.
I know I'm wearing you out.
Keep conserving that gas. I know I'm wearing you out. That's Letarte talking. Look how hard it's raining.
Oh, yeah.
Forget it.
My goodness.
Marty. Oh, sorry. Marty, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say now the dilemma, who pits and who doesn't. Ryan Newman came on the radio when his crew asked him that, and he said, guys, I want to go for the win and not track position, but the win may be a moot point at this point. It looks like it's raining a little too hard over there, fellas.
Yeah, again, Ryan's wife.
Yeah. Surely Ryan knows if they're running through that much rain, they're not probably going to run it that far.
But you know something? That the whole track doesn't look like it's...
And that's just that one place. It's just that one place. But it's soaking wet where that one place is now. And if it only rains on that one area of the racetrack, that one corner, and we've seen it here before, if it only rains on that one corner, yeah, they will dry this racetrack. I think when Jeff saw the 12 car coming that hard and he caught him, Jeff knew from the brake issue he could not get in the corner as hard as he wanted to, and the 12 car was going to dive bomb him when he got to the tunnel turn. And Jeff had already given him the position and then realized, oh, maybe I need to go again.
Larry, you still with us?
Well, I know Steve Letarte is wearing Jeff Gordon out right now about conserving fuel, because what he's saying is in about 8 to 9 laps he has to come to pit road for fuel. But I think the deal is, under caution, he can run a lot further than that. So I don't think we have an issue here. He can probably run another 10 or 15 laps at the pace they're running right now, because Kyle Wally, you guys know, he can kick it up in neutral. He can do a lot of things to conserve fuel at this pace. Looks like to me they're possibly bringing him down pit road right now.
Larry, let me just say this for the record. Drivers can't do anything. It's all crew chiefs. I'm seeing that now from this side.
You guys that for years.
From this side, I realize that now.
Listen, McMillan's got a big enough head. Let's not get crazy.
Ralph is with the crew chief.
That is Steve Letarte. Steve, that's some incredible strategy. How concerned are you right now about fuel?
Well, now that we're red flagged, I'm not too concerned with fuel, but I mean, to everyone at DuPont Chevrolet, they fight year in and year out, week in and week out. We didn't have a very good car. We still missing some stuff on the brakes, but he drove his tail off, and, you know, if we get a little lucky with the weather, maybe we'll get some wind.
Now, is this a strategy that you've had written down in your notebook, or is this something you just dreamed up as the race unfolded?
No, I wish you could plan for strategies like this. Actually, I got to give credit to my car chief, Jeff Mendering, my engineer, Ken Replogo. Both of those really come up with the idea. It was a wonderful idea, and, you know, those guys on top of the pit box is a lot of the reason we're running well tonight.
Steve, you had a terrible day with brakes. You had problems with tires. You're down low on fuel. You're not supposed to win this thing. Does that mean you guys are going to be a real strong contender for this championship because everything just seems to be rolling your way?
I don't know, but that probably means we'll win it, because we haven't won any race that we've been the best car this year. You know, Jeff Gordon did a wonderful job at Darlington, and we got a little lucky at Talladega, so hopefully the luck will hold out here.
That's one that if it wasn't written in his book before the day started, it will be written in there now, Bill.
Thank you, Ralph. Cars have been brought to pit road, and they will display the red flag. Again, here's how close it was, and this is what they were talking about with Gordon apparently having issues.
Well, don't forget, he feels he's off the tires, and it's raining back there. So, I mean, he figures he's going to wreck this thing, and I mean,
and we're told that freeze right there is when the caution came out. Ryan Newman in second behind Jeff Gordon, and on pit road, Chrissy's reaction. It has been a long time between wins for Ryan Newman.
But you got to feel good for about as good as they've run today. I mean, he
well,
had a...
And Dover.
Yeah, and Dover, yeah.
Right.
So they're turning their deal around.
They have definitely turned it around. That entire group, not only the Ryan Newman and that team, but the 2-car also. They've turned a lot of their stuff around. I know Kurt had a bad week this week, but they've turned their stuff around over the last 4 or 5 weeks. That's amazing.
So the car's getting covered up.
And the problem is, you know, we're sitting here, and it's 7 o'clock East Coast time, okay? So they don't have a lot of time. And we saw that it took an hour to drive the racetrack. And, you know, this is going to come down to a time element. And, you know, it's all but over.
Now it's time for our Gillette Fusion Power Phantom mid-race report. We have completed 106 laps. Jeff Gordon has led twice today for 26 laps. And I'll tell you what, the strategy session after this race is going to be something you'll want to listen to. Our Gillette Fusion Power Phantom mid-race report. Marty?
Well, I'm with the probably second most disappointed man here on pit road. I'm sure Ryan Newman is the most.
Lied to anyone,
right.
okay? And he said, no, I'm not doing it, so let it rest.
So we're not asking him.
Okay.
I'm not asking him.
All right.
I never asked him.
All right, we're hearing from NASCAR. The race has been called. It is an official race. And Jeff Gordon is the winner. It's his 79th career win, his 4th of 2007, his 4th win here at Pocono.
I think Steve Letarte's the winner. I'm not sure Jeff's the winner. I think Steve's the winner.
Marty?
Oh, man, this has been a crazy, anxious moment for these guys waiting this one out. Have you ever won crazy races like this crazy fashion? You win Phoenix because of the pit call. You win today because of the pit calls. Has this ever happened in your career before, Jeff?
You have to remind me. We need John Edwards and the
He's right there.
statistician there. Steve Letarte. You need to be talking to him, not me. He won this race today. We had a great race car, but without track position and without a great risky call like that, I can't believe we just won this race. Wow. I don't know what to say. Woo! Hi, baby.
Let's wrangle the truth. You got to stay here, Jeff. Let's wrangle the truth out of your crew chief. Now, when you left him out there, was that your strategy, or was it just, you know, tell us the truth?
Well, our strategy changed. We had a decent car, but it's so hard to pass here. You know, it just gets spread out. But Shannon called it. He saw some rain clouds coming. He told me to check the radar, and then, you know, we're just shooting for wins. That's our goal. You know, it's 10 more points in the chase. That's all we're trying to do is make the chase and have as many points as we can when we get there.
Do you have a connection somewhere? You know how far the rain was?
No, but you know, when it rains, it pours. We've had years that we can't do anything right, and some years you can't do anything wrong, and you just got to ride the highs when they come, and that's what we're trying to do.
I'm sure it's a lot of fun for you. Now, I don't know if you know what you caused, but you caused Kyle Petty to retire today. He said, I can't keep up with that kind of strategy.
Man, I tell you what, we've had some drama this year on our wins, and when we do it, it's in dramatic fashion. Glad he's up there. I know he's doing a great job up in the booth, and you know, what a great. I know it wasn't a full race, but great way to bring TNT into you know, this year. And man, I'm just so proud of all the guys at DuPont Chevrolet. I think DuPont, Nicorette, Pepsi, GMAC, Quaker State, Georgia Pacific. Just a great you know, way to finish this day out. I never thought we were going to get on the racetrack, so to get out here and have it come down to strategy. You know, you win some this way, you lose some this way, and we won this one today, I guess. That's what they're telling me. I still don't believe it. I don't believe it until I see John Darby or Mike Kelton or something.
Yeah, it's official. We'll get them down here. Jeff, real quick, this is the first win after a big loss for the France family in the sport. I know Bill France meant a lot to you.
Yeah, and I definitely want to, you know, send all of our wishes out to the France family. I mean, you know, Bill and his entire family did so much to get this sport where, you know, we wouldn't be here with these sponsors all over the cars, all the fans in the stands, and be this excited about, you know, pit strategy and wins if this sport wasn't as big as it is. And that would never have been possible without Bill France Jr., without Bill France Sr., and without the France family and Brian and Lisa. I know they're going to continue this sport on, and we're going to play our part to do the best we can to keep it going as well.
Victory Lane, my friend, is that way, okay? All right, Jeff Gordon headed to Victory Lane. He'll walk this time, Bill.
Thanks, Marty. The 4th time in his career that Jeff Gordon has won a rained, shortened race. Ryan Newman had, well, a wild and wacky day, but we do have a race winner, and Chevrolet and Hendrick Motorsports remain strong.
Unbelievable. I think somebody said it earlier. When it's your year, it's your year.
Right.
I mean, and like Jeff said, you lose a lot of races that way, but these guys can't do anything wrong.
And you're really going to keep coming back, right?
I'm going to keep coming back.
Because they changed their strategy.
They changed their strategy. But I want to say this. You know, great drivers win dramatic races. Richard Petty is 200th at Daytona with the president there. You've seen Darrell. You've seen Dale Earnhardt Sr. Teams like that put themselves in position, and Jeff and those guys did it today.
All right. Looking forward to next week. See you guys at Michigan, okay?
Yeah, man.
Let's send it down to Mark.
All right, thanks very much, Bill, alongside Larry McReynolds. And, hey, a crew chief, you got to be happy with the way this thing ran. Quick final thoughts on what was short but very exciting.
I love strategy races, Mark. You know, it's something that I thrived on for a number of years as a crew chief, was trying to create strategy. And to see those guys that has had good runs the last 2 weeks, Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Newman, Casey Mears, who won at Lowe's a couple of weeks ago, it's great to see those guys working right now off momentum. I bet you've never done a 7-hour baseball game, have you?
Hey, it was plenty of fun. All right, next week it's NASCAR's Nextel Cup Racing from Michigan. We want you to join us Sunday on Father's Day. Coverage begins at 12:30 with NASCAR on TNT Live, followed by All-State Countdown to Green, and then the race from Michigan International Speedway. Now, coming up next